What's up, YouTube? How we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Today is day number 17, National Preparedness Month, 2025, September. And yesterday we talked about weapons. And today we're going to talk about how we're going to feed those weapons. So today we're talking about ammo. So stay tuned. Be right back. Okay, so ammo. And this is another one of those everybody has an opinion on. Everybody says you got to have whatever million amount of rounds or whatever. Have all of them. And I'm not disagreeing with that necessarily, because you got to have it, especially if for whatever reason. I mean, are we talking about just being prepared, or are we talking about SHTF, or you got to have your supply of ammo, even if it's just a matter of prices are jacked and we can't afford to go get it, or shortages come along. If there's happens to be some kind of a war, or I mean, there's been wars going on like crazy over the past little bit. But if prices get so jacked up, or shortages come, or gun controllers get a hold of it, and we just can't, it's not as readily available, it's good to have a good supply of it. And everybody wants like some kind of numbers, like how much do we need? Well, it kind of depends on what you're doing with it. I mean, if you're consistently training, yeah, you want to have plenty of it. But if we're talking about just like straight up SHTF, like it has officially hit the fan, and we're doing it. We're in the middle of it. We're doing what we've been preparing for all these years. It's here. It's happening. And it depends on, are you bugging in or are you bugging out? That's a big factor to me of how much you actually want to have. I mean, pistols, if you want numbers on them, pistols, you want at least a couple hundred rounds of, good self-defense ammo, whatever your self-defense ammo of choice is. Don't really care what you choose, whatever you like. Doesn't matter what I like. It's what you like, what you've trained with, what you've practiced with, what you carry, what if it's Hornady critical duty, then get a couple hundred rounds of that at minimum, at least, for your carry gun. And preferably, says me, have those all ready to go in magazines. Have enough magazines to store it, to put it all in, and have them already loaded, so they're grab and go ready. You can just grab them and go as needed. And then maybe a 1,000 or so rounds to practice with. Keep replenishing it as you practice. Buy more. If you go to the range once a week or once every couple of weeks and replenish what you use, cool. With rifles, like AR, AK type rifles, 500-600 at least. SHTF ammo, at least 500 or 600, and most of that, basically at a minimum, what I would say is, at a minimum, you want the maximum amount that you can carry on your person. That's the minimum you want, is whatever you can grab and take with you on foot. Whatever you can carry, whether it be on your belt, in your bag, on your chest rig, whatever you can put on you. If we're talking, if your thing is 10 magazines, if that's what you can legit carry, you got your chest rig that you can put 3 in or 6 in. You got your 1 or 2 on your belt, and then a couple extras in your bug out bag. That's 10. So you want 10 magazines, and you want 300 rounds. That's what you're taking on your person. Because if you have to bug out, basically all that extra ammo that you have, you're just arming the enemy. And that goes same with handguns. It's whatever you can fit. If your goal is, 10 mags for my carbine and 3 magazines or 4 magazines for my handgun, then that's what you want to at least have in your self-defense ammo to go at the ready. To go anything else above that, I'd say at your house, if you're planning on bugging out, if that's your plan, is because if you live in a bad area where you could be bugging out, you don't want to have 10, 15, 20, 50,000 rounds sitting at your house, because you're not going to take it with you. That's kind of same goes with guns. And if you have 100 guns sitting at your house and you have to bug out, you're not taking them with you. And guess who's going to get a hold of those? Not the good guys. So, and that's the same thing. I mean, but ammo, and shotgun ammo, kind of the same. Shotgun you're probably not carrying with you necessarily, unless you're like in a vehicle or something. Because really, if you're bugging out, you got 2 guns. You got a rifle and a pistol. But if we're bugging in, or if you're at your bug out location, have all of it. Have every single round ever made at your location. But it's more of a, it's all kind of situational based for you. You decide, if you're going to be, if bugging out is your number one, then don't have a whole bunch of stuff at your house. Like, I mean, I'm not saying don't prepare, don't be prepped, don't get stuff, but just keep it at where you're going to be bugging out to. If you're going to be bugging out at Jim's house 2 towns over, where there's maybe 10 people within 10-mile radius, then store it all at his house. Buy everything, but put it over at his house. Because if that's your end location, your final destination and bugging out, then have it there, because that's where you're going to be needing it at. Don't fill bedrooms or closets or whatever full of it at your house if you're going to be leaving, because you're just feeding and arming and supplying the enemy. And that's what I've been saying a lot. A lot of people don't. A lot of the prepper gurus don't really get on board with that. They don't think about that as much, and they tell you all this good stuff. It's like and they're legit, because it's like, you want to be prepared. You want to have all the right amounts of everything. But if you have to bug out, you're not taking it with you. I mean, that's so. Basically, what I tell people is the minimum you want of all your ammos, of all your guns, of all your stuff is the amount that you can carry on your person. Readily at the grab and go ready. Anything else, you want more. Don't get me wrong, you want more, but have it at the location. If it's just something that's going to happen that's going to be couple weeks. I mean, I'm not saying don't have any of it at your house. It's like food and stuff. Have enough to get you by a few months. Because even if you don't last a few months, even if it's just a few weeks, and the enemy comes and overtakes you and you have to bug out, at least you didn't give them like your everything. You just gave them a few weeks or a month or so's worth of stuff, and that's all they get. And then they're you're still helping them out, but we don't need to be helping the enemy as much as we can. No, we don't need to be doing that. There's no reason to help the enemy. But anyway, I don't know where else to go with this one. Everybody has numbers. If you absolutely want numbers, 500 pistol, 1,000 rifle, 500 shotgun, 200-300 long gun. There you go. If you want numbers, but anything more than that, keep it at your location. That's just what you want to have, like, at your location. Unless your location is the bug out location, then you want it all. You want it all at your bug out location. But at your certain location, what you can carry on your person, plus a few weeks worth, a month's worth, depending on how long you think you're going to be there before you have to skedat. I mean, if you think you're only going to be there, if you think I'm only going to last here a couple weeks, then only have a couple weeks worth of stuff at your house. Keep it all either caches along the way or at the location. And that's that's where I'm going with ammo. And ammo, but like I said, numbers. Everybody's a numbers freak. Everybody wants how much, but it really depends on But if you want a big picture, I mean, if you want a big picture, there's no amount you should end at. If we're talking about everything, both here and at your bug out location, there's no limit. Have as much as you can possibly get, because for whatever reason, whether it's just a storm hits and causes prices to go up, or civil unrest hits, or political reasons exist, or gun control happens, or whatever the case may be, and ammo's not gonna be, you can't just go to the store and get it. Yeah, have it. Have as much as you possibly can. Be your own gun. We need more ammo. Okay, well, let's just go grab some. 'Cause it's stuff you can live without it. You don't necessarily have to have ammo. It's good to have it, good to have plenty, but you really don't want to run out of it either. And I'm not sure if I'm covering it in this series or not, but bartering's probably not going to be much of an option either. A lot of people say barter, we'll just use it for barter. We'll buy some and we'll barter it. We'll barter for more of it, or we'll barter. Bartering's not going to be, says me, at least nothing long term. It's once it's set in, and if it's a long term situation, you're not going to be bartering anything. You're going to have to, if you run out, you run out. No one's going to give you theirs because they don't want to run out. So, but big picture, have it all. Small picture, at your house, at your location, as much as you can grab and go with you. That's basically that's my take on ammo. I know that may not be what you wanted to hear. That may not be everybody wants numbers to everything, but that's what I got. That's my opinion. Big picture, bug out location, every single round ever made. Your location, if you're going to be bugging out quickly, just enough to keep on your person and enough to train with, to rotate frequently in and out as you're training. That's it. That's all you need. Because when SHTF happens, you're not going to be training anymore. So you're going to start using that to actually use it. You're going to want to try and save it for when you actually need it, because you're not going to be really training much with live ammo. Because, of course, that depends on SHTF, what it looks like, but you're not going to be training. You're going to be too busy doing other stuff to be training. So, anyway, that's what I got. That's my take. I did give some numbers, but big picture, like I said, bug out location, everything, your location, just enough that you can grab and go. And that's with everything. That's with food for everything. Food for your weapons, food for your medical supplies, food for your trucks, food for your vehicles, food for you, everything. Just enough that you can grab and go. At your location, at bug out location, everything. Have an unlimited supply if you can have, But that's my take. Trying to keep these videos short. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Do the YouTube stuff. Links down below to help support. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.